Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and with me is Mitch Bambauer, Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed. And Mitch, our family's been doing business with your family for a long time, but you want to tell folks really what Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed is all about?
Yeah, Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed. My grandpa and great-grandpa started this business in the 1950s. We've now expanded to 3 locations, and we have several family members involved and have around 40 employees.
Mitch, one of the topics, and we've covered a lot of segments of it here on the show, is water quality within our watersheds that we're at. What is Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed, and how are they addressing some of those?
Well, there's no doubt that we've had water quality issues, especially locally in the Grand Lake and Lake Erie watersheds. So there's a lot of things that we're doing as a company to try and adjust to those for our nutrient plans. And it's up to all of us to make sure that we're precise and accurate and efficient with the fertilizer applications that we make.
You just mentioned something about the 4R plan, and you want to expound a little bit on that. Talk about what that means.
Well, the 4R nutrient plan is pretty simple. It's applying the nutrients at the right time, the right place, the right source, and the right rate. And we try to implement that plan with our customers by first implementing a soil sample program to make sure that they've got a good baseline to what nutrients they do need to apply.
Well, when you're talking about working with the customers and how they're going to find out that baseline, what are some of the things that you do at Bambauer Fertilizer for those baselines and establishing those?
Well, I think the first thing you need to think about when you're thinking about a soil sample program is, how do I want to sample? There's a lot of different ways and angles that you can take when you're taking a soil sample. Some of those are different area sizes, 2.5, 5 acre, 10 acre areas. Some do it by grid, some do it by soil type zone, and at different depths for different applications of tillage. We have come to the conclusion now for almost 20 years we've been doing our elite soil sampling program in 2.5 acre areas by soil type.
Well, on our farm, and you guys have been doing it for us for a long time, is doing the variable rate application, not only of our fertilizer but of our lime. So there's a benefit not only to the environment for that, but there's also a cost savings for the producer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually when we get a sample back, the first thing that we look at is the pH of the soil and the percent of calcium in the soil. That is the base of all nutrients and is usually, depending on the crop, the first thing that we fix. A lot of times, just the correction of lime and putting lime in the correct place will cover the cost of the samples and the savings of what you would have spent on a basic application of lime.
Well, not only by getting the lime correct do you solve some of those problems, but you also bring the fertility and such in line as well.
Absolutely. And one of the advantages we have is we've got a lot of different tools in our fertility toolbox. We have the ability to source and apply poultry litter, lime, gypsum, Enviro, as well as commercial fertilizer products. And that allows us to apply the right nutrient for the crop, but also to apply the right nutrient in areas that need to be cured of deficiencies.
When you talked about you have all the right tech, you have the technology. You want to talk a little bit about the technology that Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed has?
Yeah, we've got good technology and the latest technology in our equipment for handling and for application. We're in the fertilizer facility today. It definitely is a state-of-the-art facility that allows us to handle fertilizer precisely and accurately, and keeps the integrity of the blend together if we are blending fertilizers. So that's been a huge advancement for us. We're also available, or we can also apply fertilizer efficiency products to our fertilizer, like Nutrisphere N or Avail, and that helps keep those fertilizers more efficient as well.
You talked briefly about the blending and keeping the integrity of the fertilizer. You want to touch on that and why that's important when we're talking about the environment and we're talking about being good stewards?
Yeah, your fertilizer is only good as the application that you get when you put it on. And every time you handle fertilizer and it gets ground up or goes through a conveyor or an auger, you get more fines, and the more fines that you get, you don't get as good a spread pattern. Well, that spread pattern relates to the amount of nutrients that are applied evenly on the ground. So our facility we have a vertical paddle blender that mixes the fertilizer real thoroughly, but it also does it slowly and gently. And that entire blend then drops out without going through an auger or conveyor, so that that whole blend stays together and we have the best fertilizer product coming out possible. One other thing we try to do is to keep our application equipment up to the latest technology. Almost all of our spreader trucks now have multiple boxes. They have the state-of-the-art controllers to make sure that the webs react as fast as possible to change rates. Our litter and lime trucks are also equipped with scales so that we can keep those products flowing and the rates correctly as densities change from different sources. So we try to keep the latest technology in that equipment to give our applicators the best chance to apply the correct rate in all zones.
Mitch, when we're talking about all the technology and, the integrity of the fertilizer and all those kind of things, it's all part of that bigger plan, the 4 R's. And here at Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed, you're doing everything you can to implement that 4R plan.
Yeah, it is our goal to work with a customer through the entire plan to find the right source, to put it at the right rate, in the right place, and the soil sample gives us that roadmap to do that, and then apply it at the right time for that crop so that nutrient is used efficiently and effectively.
Mitch, we covered a lot of information today. If somebody wanted to find out more information about Bambauer Fertilizer and Seed, where can they go?
You can reach us in many ways. We've got a website, www.bambauerfertilizer.com. We've actually got a smartphone app on the Google Play Store or on iTunes. Just type in Bambauer, you'll find that. Or you can call us at 888-MAX-CROP.
Mitch, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.